Discover how you can remove 90% of the manual work in manually processing clocked hours into sending invoices. If you're a business owner or you manage invoicing and your company uses a clocking tool, a database software, and an accounting tool, then this will sound familiar. Your team clocks work and hours in a clocking tool. That gets imported into your datasheet like Excel, Google Sheet, or Airtable, and it manually gets checked. Then, that gets copy-pasted into your accounting tool to create and send your invoices. There's a new, better, and faster way of doing this, and that's with automation. In this example, we import the hours from our clocking tool into our datasheet and turn them into invoices with a click of a button. Let's do a quick comparison. With manual processing, you have costly hours of labor, where automatic processing is done in seconds for a fraction of the price, often just a few subscriptions to software. You've probably experienced that with copy-pasting data by hand, little mistakes can sneak in, sometimes with huge consequences, just from filling in the wrong field or forgetting or adding a digit. With automation, the data is instantly imported, always goes into the right fields and with the right data. People get busy or sick, so work gets delayed. But automation always executes immediately and can do many things at the same time. Doing it by hand can cause stress and worry, whether it's done and done correctly. But imagine having a clear mind and an ease of heart, knowing that everything is always handled. In this example, we're using Keeping to clock the hours, Airtable as our database, and Jortt for accounting. Okay, so as you can see, I have a split screen of my Airtable, this is where the database is, and Keeping, where the hours are being tracked. We have different people working here throughout the day, and what we're gonna do is extract the data from yesterday into Airtable. As you can see, there are many hours being tracked from yesterday, and if we go to time registrations here in Airtable, then you can see that it's still empty. We go to time registrations per project, that's where the time registrations, let's say on the same project we have multiple registrations on the same day. This is where we merge them together so they become line items for that specific day on the invoice. Here if we go to customers, so the data that is inside there, it's a little bit of a mix of dummy data and real data, so things are a little bit mixed up. So some things I can show and some things I cannot show. And here you can see these are actual clients, but I just changed the names. So the registrations will still come in on those on their IDs, but the names have been changed. So sometimes I'll have to blur things out. We go to projects, that's filled. These are the projects that are extracted from Keeping, that have been made by the client by Keeping, because they have been using Keeping for a while now. So there are lots of projects registered and linked to specific clients. So let's go to import registrations. So this is the screen where the actual import is triggered inside of Keeping. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select the time range. We're gonna do yesterday. Just click the button and it will start. We'll go to raw registrations, and here we can see it's filling up with the registrations from yesterday. Let me just open it up for you. There you go. And as you can see, everything is immediately imported in their designated fields. So you'll never have the mistake that some data is filled in into the wrong field. Now, if we go into time registrations per project, per task, here we can see that it's still empty because it's still processing. And in just a moment, they should start appearing here as well. All right, there they come. So here we can see the time per task merged in a line item. We can open it, so we can have a page view of that line item. That is the great thing about Airtable, is that we can actually turn a spreadsheet into something, well, more user-friendly. Here we can see the invoice date, the payment term, due date, we have the hours, we have the accounted hours. So the client wanted to have the freedom to first check and adjust the data that came in. So in his case, he wanted to be able to adjust the hours that are actually gonna go on the invoice. So that means in this case, it's always empty. There's no formula for it yet. Might be something in the future, but we're gonna fill it in. Once that's filled in, that's the actual count that's gonna go on the invoice. So we have 1 hour and 46 minutes. We're gonna make it 2 hours. And then here on the left, you will see the 2 appear as well. We'll move on to the next item. We have 1 hour and 2 minutes. We'll make it 1 hour. Move on to the next item. 6 hours and 52 minutes. We'll make it 7. And the next one, 6 hours, and we're gonna make it 6. We have 6, so that's 6 times 50. That's 300 for a total, excluding taxes. So as you can see, some parts are editable and some parts are not editable. If you look at Tarifa, you can see bedrijfstarief. There you can see that it's 50 euros in this case, but that is connected to the project. So on project level, we would be able to change the tariffs. Let's have a look at sending invoices. So now we have the invoice overview per client for this day, because we only imported this day. The invoices in this case are actually set up to include the whole week, but since we only imported yesterday, it's gonna only show the date of yesterday, of course. Here we have Groeneveld BV. You can see here all the data. This is a custom-made interface, so the interface can be optimized for your own workflow. So we can move around every field. Here we see the items that we just saw in the previous screen. There you can see the verrekende uren here on the right is 6 and 7, like we changed a moment ago. We'll go to customers. So of course, before we can make an invoice, we need to have the customer inside our accounting tool. So that's what we're gonna do now. We're using Jortt for accounting in this case. This could be practically any other accounting tool that you might be using. So as you can see, our customer overview is empty, klantenoverzicht. There are no customers yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the customers that we have here in Airtable and we're gonna send them into Jortt. And we're gonna do it in a split second, as you will see. Just click the button and there you go. This is not sped up. This is actually the speed that it works. So let me just refresh the page. And there you go. Groeneveld BV, Dorpstraat 8, or Dorpstraat 8 in Den Haag. If you're doing this manually, you already know how much time this just saved, right? We did it in a finger click. There's absolutely no chance that the data can be filled in to the wrong field in our accounting tool, or that a mistake is made, like something like spelling, for example. So if you have been doing this manually, you know how long this takes and how sensitive it is for making mistakes. You might have a spelling mistake, or worse, filling the wrong price. Alright, let's make the rest of the customers as well. There we go. Blue Harbor Supply, click, faster admin as well. Let's refresh the page again. This is going on real time. All of them are inside. So since we have our customers in our accounting tool right now, we can go ahead and actually start making the invoice in our accounting tool. Let's go to facturen verzenden. And here we have our invoices. We have the week, we have the invoice date, we have the term, we have due date, and we have our line items connected here. We can see it. We have a clear overview of our totals to make sure that everything is correct before we send it to our accounting tool. Let's go back to our split screen so that you can see that it's actually sending. All right. We're gonna click factuur aanmaken to make the invoice. That was fast. I hope you didn't miss it. It did say bezig for like a split second, but then it was already done and it's green, factuur aangemaakt, invoice made. All right, let's make the invoice for Blue Harbor Supply now. We're going to change the payment term from 14 days to 7 days. And let's make the invoice, and there you go. It's there as well. Okay, there you have it. 2 invoices in just a few seconds, pretty much. Let's go into our invoices screen in Jortt, in our accounting tool. Let's make another one from Works. We only have one line item, and I think we didn't fill in the accounted hours. Yeah, there we go. So it's 0.8. We'll just make it 1 and create invoice. Works, it's there as well. Let's check out the invoice for Groeneveld PV. Selected here in Airtable as well. We have a total amount of 768 euros and 50 cents, including tax. There you can see it as well. 136 euros and 50 cents in taxes and 650 euros excluding taxes. It's exactly the same every time. And that's the great thing. You'll never have any mistakes inside your invoices anymore. If you had mistakes on your invoices, you know how much of a hassle that is. Imagine your life where this doesn't happen anymore. Not only are the invoices created in a split second, that means also that the invoices are being sent out much faster, because it only takes a few seconds to do it. So the cash flow just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. After creating the invoice, it can immediately send it to the customer as well, and then send reminders automatically with your own configuration, so that you never have to think about it again. We cannot send the invoice yet because this is just a test account, but we can see an example of what it would look like. We'll click Voorbeeld. There you have it. There you have the invoice. All right, so that is the process. Now, of course, in order to manage all of this, there's more information that we need to have and need to manage. So that's why we have a couple of extra fields here as well on the left. For example, we have taken, tasks, because inside your hours tracking tool, the user can select the task he or she is spending time on. Now, here we have in the middle, verrekenen aan klant. Some say yes, some say no. The reason for that is that we can still have control over what is actually being calculated in our line items. If here something is no, because something is, for example, not to be, well, it's simply not for the invoice to the customer, then it's not going to be included. So here you can see on the right, we have tijdsregistraties. You can see the numbers. For example, here in the top right, that is one of the time registrations that we just imported from Keeping. And we can see the relationship that this task has with our time registrations. In this case, administratief has only been registered once. And when we click on it, we can actually see the details of it. So this has been registered by Peter on the 4th of March in week 10. Here we can see how many hours Peter worked on administration at this date or at this registration. Let's go to our personnel overview. Here are all the users that you have in your hours tracking tool. Now, here we have me, for example, as a test. Let's have a look at Lars here at the bottom. This is an actual employee of my client, but of course I've changed the profile picture and I've changed the name. Here in the bottom we can see tijdsregistraties again. So these are the registrations that were from Lars, imported from Keeping into our Airtable. Here you can see week 10, the 4th of March, he has 9 registrations. So this is the whole day that he worked. We can see that he started working at 6:28 in the morning and he finished at 2:25. So for you to easily understand what we do is we make your current software work together. So you can have tool A, tool B, C, D, E, and in between we insert our automation layer. We call it the intelligent processor. It's powered by N8N, and you can imagine that as a universal plug, right? You can plug it in practically every socket, and this intelligent processor can plug in almost any software. And then we configure it to pull specific data from tool A, transform it under your unique set of conditions, and then send it to tool B, all in few seconds. And the best thing is that you do not need to change the software you use in most cases. And sometimes we might suggest adding extra software just to make things run more smoothly, but we try to limit this as much as possible because we want to change the things that you're used to as little as possible. So if you have repetitive processes where you see people make mistakes and things are simply taking too much time, that for the most part follow the same steps each time, and you'd rather have that time invested in tasks that are more valuable to the company, then let's hop on a call. We will first check if we are a good fit, because we only work with people that we are confident that we can help. I will take you through our exploration process to find where your biggest wins are. Now, we only have limited spots. We take on 2 to 3 clients a month. You can reach out to me on social media like LinkedIn or Instagram, or book directly in my calendar. Do it now. Talk soon.